Our Eve, promoting the game and its players. Hey there, my name's Johnny Pugh, in-game character name Sir Livingston, and welcome to Our Eve. Today I'm going to be showing the radial menu. This was designed by Team Pony Express, a developer team. That's their name, Pony Express, and I tell you what, I've been checking this feature out and I very much like it, but there are a lot of back and forth discussion on the forums, but that's another story. Let's talk about the feature. The radial menu is it existed in a previous form. Let me go ahead and show you right quick. Right now I'm showing you the radial menu of my ship. It gives me my options to change my default warp to distance, default orbit, default approach, keep it range, and that's what it looks like generally. You get 8 options, 8 segments, and then of course the plus sign is a secondary sub menu that gives you more options if it's needed. Okay, so that's what the design basically looks like. Okay, now the menu you get depends on what you're selecting. Like right now, that's my ship radial menu, your in-space ship radial menu. You also get a different one for like looking at station. Right up there you get a docking symbol and an orbit symbol, info, locking option, right? You don't get a locking option on your own ship. But that is the radial menu by Team Pony Express. Now there is a shortcut available in the settings. It's under general settings right here, shortcuts, general, and I believe it's right here, instant action menu. That's the name it's being called in here, I believe. There is a shortcut for changing this. Now this feature, the greatest thing about it is that it's gesture based design. They designed it so that you can develop muscle memory for the action, and you won't even have to look at the symbols very much often in the future if you develop your muscle memory for it. You can just quickly drag over something like a tighten out here and lock it up really quick. You know, you like click on it, drag down, lock, that quick. You don't have to go to up here or below, wherever you have your selected item window, and select it that way. It cuts down some time potentially. Now I said loading time of this radial menu won't be any change, like it won't be severe or anything. So I was skeptical at first because all the options that I've seen, like you can do all those same things with your selected item window. So I was curious, what's the benefit to the radial menu? What really is the benefit to this? And what I realized is it's the simplicity of it, right? You have this window up here, but for us players who've been around for a while, the radial menu, it makes the whole experience less of a spreadsheet. I said spreadsheet, forgive me, I said spreadsheet. It makes it less of a window game. Like, you know, everything we do in space usually involves dealing with windows. Like over here, my overview window, my selected item window, my scanner window, my local window, you know, windows. But this design takes away a window. I approve of taking away windows because I've had enough of them over the years. The radial menu, for me, is making the game feel more like a experience, not such like a window interaction with a sci-fi exterior. So good on that. The gesture-based design, like I said, it's so you can develop muscle memory and improve the speed at which you can do actions in space. Okay, so that's what I really enjoyed about the feature. One thing that really struck me though, I'm going to go through all the options here. Let's say I select this station, right? I'm looking at the station. Let me get that centered for you. Okay, there it is. The station. Now this station has some options. It has a docking option. The one up here in all the radial menus, that is your primary option. Like if you're looking at a ship, your primary option is to board it. If you're looking at a station, your primary option is to dock in it. Or like a cargo wreck, your primary option is to open that. So simple. That is your primary action. All the others are your other options, right? So usually the ones to your left right here is your orbit option. Now this you can be changed. Your orbit right here, watch, you can drag out past it, and it changes your orbit, your distance. This was for me, an awe moment. Like, wow, that is neat. It reminded me of this one quote in a movie. That is neat. What was that from? Oh, whatever. But this adjusts your distance just by dragging out past it. That is fantastic. Now the same thing goes. I changed my orbit distance. You can't do that. Now the same thing goes for your keep it range and also your warp 2 ranges. But let me go pick on a ship so I can actually show you that. Let's tighten out here. Right here it says keep it range 2,000 meters. Drag past it, and it goes all the way to 30 kilometers. You can default it to, right? And as soon as you let go over top of it, it will of course activate it. But if you right click, it did it for me. So there are some changes to be made. It's not a complete finished product, I'm sure, but it is looking great. And of course also we can change our default warp to, if you go to an off-grid celestial object, let's say this planet. I select it, I can change my warp 2 range either at 0, I can default to 0, or I can drag past it and go all the way up to 100 kilometers, just like you do when you right click an object in space. That simple. Oh, better cancel warp. I'm still getting used to the radial menu. It's something you do got to get used to. You really do. So as for the primary option up here, right? It says dock when you're looking at a station. It can also be jump when you go to a Stargate. Jump, board ship, view planet. Your default option can be view a planet if you're clicking on a planet, and of course like open cargo. Now your extra right here, this plus sign, like on say celestial objects, ships, it'll usually default to option of save location or look at, and that's pretty much what it's there for, just those extra options that aren't primary interactions that players use. This is based on the primary things that players use when they use their selected item window. And of course the right here, approach, this also changes from approach to align to. If you're looking at a off-grid object, say this, let's find a planet for us, this planet, it'll change from approach to align to. Nice. And that's very basic but very much needed and a good use of that option space. Now this right here, of course, standard show info, very standard. You click on it, you show info, just like anything else, just easier done. And that is all it is. Like I mentioned before, you can also select your ship, right click on your own ship and change your default ranges just like that by dragging out past, and it'll set your default range for that ship. And of course default warp 2 path, warp 2 range, and default keep it range. And stop your ship, show info, and your reset camera. Doesn't really make a difference. You reset your camera, you're just looking at your ship closer. That's it. But that is the radial menu designed by Team Pony Express. I believe it's going to come out in Odyssey. It's currently available on CC. As you can see, I'm in the primary testing solar system on Singularity with all the other pilots out here testing things. And that is it, the radial menu. Also, I believe it's being called the radial action menu or the instant action menu. I'm not sure if they're comfortable on saying, like, getting an exact name down concrete, but that's what it is, the radial menu. And I'm sure you can look forward to using it in Odyssey. Now, I'm going to be linking below the actual forum thread that you can go on there and discuss it. The developers are actually responding, so if you have input, feedback you want to give them, or thumbs up, well done, go to that forum thread and post in there, and the developer team will see it. Be sure of that. Look, another Navy battlecruiser saying hi. Well, that is what I wanted to show you today, the radial menu designed by Team Pony Express. Well done. I like it. It looks good, clean, simple, responsive, and I look forward to actually using it on Odyssey. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.